make sure you mute yourself. Hold on a second. I cannot mute anybody while I am setting up the YouTube. All right. Now I can. Okay. Okay, good morning. Good morning, Tracy. You have the honor. Please introduce Samson. Thank you.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. It is early out here in the Pacific time zone, but we're always excited to see you. Gosh, to get up early and get the makeup on and the hair and the whole thing, it's all totally worth it because we get to listen to Samson today. You know, Samson, we're really excited because it's really introducing the fall season for us. And that's when we really get better organized, a better schedule, you know, and it's a lot easier to be consistent, I believe, this time of year and get into that pattern of getting things done the way that we know to. We get down to business, right? And kids are back in school, our schedules get a little bit more set. I don't have any kids at home still. I mean, I have a son who's in pilot school, but I don't have to worry about that. But it just seems like it falls in line, falls in line, right? And I know we have big visions. We have a promo that we're running with right now called September to Remember, leading all into Las Vegas, which we're all very excited about attending. It's always good to be back together. It's always good to be focused. And so we just invited you today because we want you to cast that vision and talk about the consistency and where that can get us. And there's no one better than you. You are the most organized person I know. And so if you would share with us this morning and explain all of those great ideas and consistencies that you have and that you share, we're just really excited that you're going to join us today. So thank you so much. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy, and thank you, George. And great to see so many beautiful faces on this morning's Zoom. It's my pleasure and honor to be here among all of you. I've been in the industry for about 20 years and made a lot of mistakes for the first 2 or 3 years. And then in my last business, it was a good run for 13 years and taught me a lot. Made a lot of money, really learned about what this industry is really about. And I want to just pay it forward to so many more people. Okay, so about consistency and vision. Well, one thing about running any business, doesn't matter this business or my old real estate business, my old furniture business, my auction business, you got to have vision. And I did not have that, as a matter of fact, in my old traditional businesses. And part of that is maybe just, nobody ever taught us. And yeah, we've heard it before, but nobody actually taught us why it's important to be consistent. One thing about when I look back, I'm 56 now. One thing when I look back in my entrepreneur journey since I was 19 was that consistency, no matter how good or bad you are, you will get somewhere with consistency. Okay. First, we all went to school, we all studied whatever we can do. We got the grades that we got, and that takes consistency. That was, if you think about it, we were almost forced into that, right? To maybe hopefully create that habit, some better than others. But in life, it pays off. And in terms of the business, just to be more direct, I know all of us are here for the business. I mean, the products are amazing. So we all get the health benefits. And at the same time, we get to share it. And at the same time, we get to build business with it, which is amazing. So in terms of consistency, I remember many years ago, the breakthrough for me was one day when I was in the industry already trying to, just struggling and just making money here and there and not consistent. One day I was standing at you know, with my, 3-digit bank account. I was at the supermarket and I was watching people, paying for their food. And all of us have done that, right? And sometimes you go at those times when it's like maybe around 9 or 10 after the kids are dropped off from school, or maybe it's after the kids get out of school and maybe about 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock, you're at the supermarket, it's packed, right? And there's like a huge line there. Yeah, like, when am I gonna get my turn? You try to pick the quickest line, right? And I was standing, I was just watching those cash register going ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. I thought to myself, wait a second. Like the supermarket makes money whenever the cash register rings. And and it almost never stops. I'm like, wow, you know what? That remind me of something. That really sparked something in me. That's like, that's a real business when money is coming in all the time. So that really got me to the point. Sometimes we have these thoughts and we go in circles and circles and say, wait a second, that's the point, right? When you have a business, you want to get paid as often as possible. So then I thought about a little bit more. It's like, am I really, out there? I'd say, oh, I'm part-time, I'm full-time, whatever time, we do the business, but I really need to be consistent so I can make money like a supermarket. You know, and then also that consistency also builds habits. And then so I just, and many of you heard me said before on other trainings is that, you know what? In my last platform, and sometimes it happens and you're forced to change. And that's a good thing because, I had quit, I had a big dream. I have seen Kim help people become millionaires before in the industry in the past. So in the last platform, make a serious decision. And I would not suggest to anybody unless you're really set up for it. But I was not set up for it. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to quit all my jobs, all my auction jobs. I'm going to just go full time in the industry. This is in 2009. So I had an apartment, I had a car payment, I had to, had to live, had to eat. Figure I need to make $2,000 to make ends meet. Well, make months meet, right? I gotta eat, right? So, like that supermarket, I say, you know what? I gotta make money every day. That's it. I gotta make money every day. And then I look at the comp plan. At that time, I was about, 4 years into the industry. And I was thinking, you know what? I understand the comp plan a little bit. So I thought, you know what? I need to cycle. I need to make a team commission every day. That's what I need to do. I need to make money. I cannot wait till the end of the month to make any money because I need to pay rent. I need to do that. So I went at it. And this first week, I did very good. I sponsored 20 people the first week. And I was consistent, let me tell you, because I need to pay my rent. And sometimes, most people, and many of you have heard before, because none of, I see some of you have been in this industry for a while, you know, is that, when your back is against the wall, you have no way out. You got to move forward, right? Like Les Brown said, if you fall, make sure you fall on your back because if you can look up, you can get up, right? And sometimes that's what it takes. So imagine if you set in your mind the condition for yourself to take action every day. That's so important every day, every day, every day. And then in terms of consistency, you got to make sure though you're consistent with productive activities. Does that make sense? So like I said, when I was in that supermarket line and I was probably like, I don't know, 9 to 10 person in line, okay, waiting to pay to get out of there, waiting to give my money away. Yeah, the point was when the cash register ring, that's when like supermarket makes money. So then I just did, you know what? The shortest point between 2 points is a straight line. At least that's what we were taught at that time, okay? So you know what? So what's the point? What is a productive activity? What has to lead me to making money? Retail, fast start bonus, or we call it PIB, a product introduction bonus here, or team commission or matching bonus. It has to lead me to one of these. At the time, Kim always say, "Oh, Samson, if you have product questions, it's not Samson. He's a product. He Googles everything, Mr. Google." I said, that's right. I am Mr. Google. I'm so good. That was my old mindset from the furniture business because in my furniture business, you want to be the expert. I was the owner. Yeah, I better be the expert, right? Got to know everything, right? Well, in a way, though, unfortunately, that's actually a fallacy in many ways if we are talking about running a business. You don't have to be the expert in everything to be successful. Does it make sense? Like when you look back in business, look, you got to let that go. Many of us, and also, sometimes the smarter we are, the harder it is. Because what you got to do, the secret to moving fast is to leverage and be in a community. But even in a community, you got to make sure you're working with other people so you can leverage them to help you. And sometimes that's the hardest thing also because our ego, we only trust ourselves often. But that communication skill is very important to be open to working with other people to help you. So when we ask for help, that's when we can accelerate. And that's when miracles can happen. And miracles in terms of things that we thought could never happen, it does happen in the wilderness. Okay. If we're in the wilderness, that's where the miracles happen. Trust me. That's the hard time when you're trying to put forth your effort, and then maybe somehow you're led to realize that your effort is not enough. Many years ago, I heard somebody on stage say, "Hey, you got to do your best. But what if your best is not good enough? You got to do whatever it takes. You got to do something else." So wherever all of you are, if you're not where you are, you have to make adjustments to your business. And you got to work with your leader who have more experience, who are, making it happen, to ask them. Even, let me tell you that over the years where I learned the most, where I add most value to my business was was the time when I travel with other leaders, top leaders. I spend time with them, like a lot of time, obviously, if you travel together. And we just talk, and then we also did the work the business, do presentation, trainings, and all that. And I realized, oh my gosh, everybody have their style. I can learn from every one of them and then bring back what applies. And I'm not talking about in the US only. I'm talking about international. They all speak a little bit different languages. They all present the business slightly different in their culture, in their language, and say, you know what? Hey, you know what? This can work in the US. Oh, that can work in the US. You got to find time to spend really, with the people that are happening, and that also builds consistencies because successful people, they're operating on already proven habits, which most of us are trying to create when we're not there yet. And that consistency, that's one of the ways to really get ahead is to have that consistency, the habits to create your success. So, another tip that along with that, in a very short sentence, is that one of the fastest way, according to Tony Robbins, to be successful is to model somebody who is successful. Do what they do. Say what they say. Think what they think. Now, think what they think. It takes time. It really needs a lot of self-awareness. Okay, and just know that just be humble enough. And back then, look, there's nothing humbling like when your bank account is two digits, right? Well, I mean, negative two digits when and when your check bounces, and then it bounces a few times in a few days because you're waiting for your paycheck to go pay for it. So look, I mean, I just want to bring down to reality, just because I've been there, and sometimes it is that moment that, you know what, I have to do it no matter what. I have to do it no matter what. That forces you to change. You know, there's no glory without the battle, and the battle is most often within the knot, right? If you think like, no politics aside, and I'm just gonna say it because when I was growing up in college, well, out of college, when I was in the business world and I was trying to make it in my real estate business, in my furniture business, the second George Bush was president. And people say, oh, he's a B student. I don't know if that's true or not. Okay. He's a B student. Okay. I'm thinking, well, if that is true, how does a B student get to be president, right? So then I realized something, it's not even about how much you know that can become the most powerful man in the world. It's really who you know and who's around you. And I said, oh, okay, that makes sense. maybe I'm not so great after all, for myself, when you've done good in school and you think that working hard is enough, well, it's minimum that you need to do that. I mean, working hard, I mean. But I don't know enough. I really don't know enough. Like in my furniture business, I did not. I made money and then lost money. I made money because the economy was good. When the economy was bad, dot-com boom and bust. And then 9/11 happened. Oh, and then the imports start coming in from China. Done with retail on that. I did not have anybody behind my back to advise me what to do. I'm not going to go down the street to the other store to ask them for advice how to run my business, right? So that's the thing, that's the trap of traditional thinking that nobody teaches in any class. It's only in the hard knocks of life that you learn those kind of things. And good thing we have the internet now in a way that it's all out there, right? Like people ask me, Samson, so teach me how to do retail. Well, I can teach you some, but there's so much information out there that's it's so much more incredible at the words and things that people say. It's just shocking. And what people can, how talented some people are in sales. In terms of building, the leadership is so important. And that's something that has to be you can read about it, but it's like riding a bike. You can read about riding a bike, but you got to really ride it to make it happen. So leadership, it's all an ongoing process. So wherever you are in the business, you're there for a reason. You know, it's interesting and not I don't want to, be preachy out there, whatever. But what's interesting was, there's a lot of wisdom. Who was I talking to? Last night I was talking to a business partner who got into something that I don't feel it will help them, but they're in it and they're committed to it. So I said, okay, fine. It's nothing to do with business, okay? And so I just pray that he'll be okay. But but I was sharing with him just the idea that sometimes, like the message that I've been listening to over the last few weeks at church. They talk about a story where there's a lot of sheep, and then the flock was in the wilderness. But in the wilderness means it's in the desert. But why you leave the people in the wilderness? Why you leave the sheep in the wilderness? Yeah, right. Good question. Well, actually, what happened is that's where the miracles happen. But you have to be faithful to what you want. You have to have that vision to keep going, to stay where you are instead of moving with the other 95% of the people who never go anywhere in life. Okay? Be that 5%, be that 1%, right? To really stand out. Because this sometimes is almost like a grind. Okay? Well, that's where the miracles happen because that's where you learn. And like I said, sometimes the brick has to hit you in the face before you realize, hello, wake up. You know, like Einstein say, insanity is when you do something over and over again, that's not working. So wherever you are, I know it's about vision consistency, but I don't want you to be inconsistent in non-productive activities. That's where it is. Now, if you're spending 6 to 8 hours a day in three, and that's what you're doing, and you're not anywhere close to 10, 20, 30, 40 cycles a month. Well, we got to fix something. Get with your upline leader and talk to them and ask him. Maybe though, depending on the time you invest in it, you're doing too much research. You're talking about the wrong thing. Your approaches you need to tweak all those to get better results. Because for sure, with effort, you will get some result. But it's a matter of how much result you want. And it's your methodology from the very beginning, the right way. I mean, I don't want to get into all the other topics, because if we talk about duplication, how to, if your model is Christine Peterson, if your model is Lance and Tracy, if your model is George and Adrian, if your model is some of the top people in the industry, you really got to model what they're doing. If you don't know, you need to ask them, what are you doing that I'm not doing? And with those kind of questions, you will get somewhere. Success, I always tell my kids, you have to ask questions. I tell my kids, the smartest people in the world, they all know how to ask the right questions. And that's the hardest part. Sometimes you might know so much, you have this title on you, whatever you think your title is, but yet the results doesn't show it, and you just want that much more to get ahead. So just ask, and that will help your consistency. And you also need to be consistently learning for sure. Um, so some of the things over the years, that that is it is so funny but so true. I remember when I was traveling around the world, because most people never get close to the top people in the company. So when I got somewhere, I was doing pretty well. I was developing, teams in US, and then like Europe, Latin America, and Asia, right? They never see you. It's only like on the Zoom or once in a while on a phone call. And it's so hard to reach the people, who just come in or come in recently, right? Because there's so many. But quite often, quite a few of these really excited and passionate people who are consistent, what they say, Samson, every morning I wake up with you. I said, what? What do you mean you wake up with me? Right? So every morning, what they end up doing is like they listen to a video, a recording, a training recording, an opportunity recording every morning with somebody in the business. Every morning. When they're in the shower, when they're brushing their teeth, when they're getting dressed, is going. And so they start the day with their business in mind. It doesn't matter even how many hours you put in. But but you know what happened though? Soon they start talking like us. So part of, I guess, look, if you want to quote unquote program yourself, is just just listen to it over and over again, and you start to talk like the people you listen to. So like many years ago, I went to a self-development class, and great training. I recommend to everybody. But I mean, the book is it's called The Secret to the Millionaire Mind. The Secret to the Millionaire Mind. So T. Harv Eker, great book. It's really a book about your mindset toward money. Your money mindset is great. It's really, really good. Okay, because it works on your mind. And he said if I sit down with you for 5 minutes, I will know your whole financial future. you know, I said, wow, that's good. That's very effective. I went to the class, very effective. I read the book, very effective. And then, of course, in there, he says the same thing that a lot of people say, show me your mentor and I'll show you your future. Okay. And if you don't mind saying, I know some of you are so into Dr. Dan, but if you're going to be into Dr. Dan, you're going to be a biochemist. So just be aware, you know. But definitely build the business, be consistent. Consistency pays off. You know, the last thing I'll leave you with this, aside from you got to verify what you're doing is productive, you got to have that attitude. You got to do consistent activity, even if it's just listening to a video every day. And then if you want to set your goal, make money every day, I don't care, you can think about it. You can say to yourself, I don't care if I have 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours a day. I just need to talk to somebody. I need to talk to somebody. Yesterday on that call with my business partner at night, he said, "Oh, he texted me, oh, Samson, I don't know if I can make it to the call. I've been sick for a couple of weeks. I'm getting better, but I don't know if I want to be on the call." So I had to call him out. I said, "Well, if you want to be successful, you got to do yeah, you got to do whatever it takes." And he texted me back, "Okay, let's get on a call at 9:30, like we talked about." Okay. It's like, really? Okay. So some just you got to push yourself. You got to stretch a little bit. I mean, like, That's your ego talking. Poor me, I'm sick. I cannot make it on the phone call. Okay. And unless you're like coughing up a storm, okay, don't get on the call. But if you're gonna set the appointment, just be on the call. Yeah, so, you know, um, so anyway, I want to leave you with this. You know, anybody can be successful. I have seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen people who cannot talk. I've seen people who stutter. They can make money in the industry. So it's not even what you say. You know, you are much more than who you think you are. You are much more than that. And don't underestimate, you know, the value of who you are, no matter where you come from, what you have done. You know, you are much more than that. It's just about how to apply it. If George Bush can be president, it's not, I'm just joking, right? No politics, politics aside, right? I know in Texas, people love George Bush, okay? I'm just saying, even if a B student become president, we can all do something. You know, there's no difference between me and Kim and you, all of you. You know, any top leader and any of you who are not making it, there's no difference. You know, we all have two eyes, one brain, two ears, one mouth. You know, two legs and two arms. You know, the only difference is what is we're thinking and what comes out of our mouth. That's the only difference. That was my conclusion with George Bush. So thank you, George Bush. You know. But that was my conclusion. So many years I said, you know, if I can know 10% of what Kim knows, maybe I can make 10% what she make. So I always believe that whatever energy I put out there, you know, in the world, it will come back. It will come back in spades. As long as I put out the right energy, say the right things to the right people. And and sometimes that's what it takes, you know. Hone your craft, fine tune what you say. You know, nowadays, you know, people are triggered by all sorts of things. Well, think about what people are triggered with and don't use those words to trigger them. Unless you want to trigger them the right way. Okay. And sometimes, you know, motivation, pain is a short-term motivation to stimulate your consistency. What would be painful if you don't make it? That also can trigger that little jump, you know, like, oh, you know, I gotta get out of the chair. Pain is a short-term motivation. And so many years ago, like I said, if I did not make money, I would not eat, I cannot pay my rent, you know? So that's painful. So I say, I don't want to be there. I need to move forward every day, every day, every day. Every morning, I think, okay, who am I going to talk to today? Every night, before I go to bed, what have I done today to move my business forward? What can I do better tomorrow? Every day, every day. That you know, that's part of that 1% mindset. You just need to improve 1% a day, but you need to put the time into and the action to improve that 1% every day, right? So every like exercise is great. When I was running, what happened is your mind becomes very clear. Or exercise, a little bit intense exercise that gets your heart going, your mind clears up. Because in science, they know that you cannot think and feel your body at the same time. That's why after exercise, your mind seems to be more clear. That's part of it. Once you have a clear head, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. What's my plan? Or hopefully you already have a plan and go execute it. So it becomes less emotional, less fear-based. So just remind yourself that, you know, all that we fear is not real. You know, if somebody say bad things about you, they can say bad. If after you talk to them, they say something bad thing about you, they will say bad thing about you anyway. So, so in this business, you find your real friends, right? Friends who really care about you and support you. So just be consistent every day, every day, every day. Like every hour, every hour, every hour, even literally, if you want to be super productive like Kim, every minute, every minute, every minute, every minute. If you have your minutes planned out, oh my God, you can be super productive. And some of you know what I'm talking about. Like Shannon, I know, like Christine, right? like a lot of top people here, I know what you guys do, right? Your calendar is full. And sometimes that's what it takes. So, fill up your calendar and let's get to work and be consistent every day. Make money every day. One cycle a day will soon become two cycles a day. If you work it right, two cycles will become three cycles. And the cycles only come from your team being consistent also. So that's where it is. So it's never about us being successful. By helping other, automatically we are successful. That's the beauty of this business. So thank you very much for your time, everybody. I hope it dropped some intriguing thoughts for you that you can think about and really motivate yourself to where you want to go. Thank you so much, and God bless all of you. Thank you.
So good, Samson. Thank you so much. There's so many nuggets here. I have a pad of paper of notes, but it's funny because I remember being young in the business, and being in a huge convention, and a great speaker got up there and so inspired. And I remember an elbow in my ribs, Lance, and he says, I can't wait to do that. And I thought, oh, it's not my dream, right? Not to get up there. But leading is so important. And I remember after that elbow, I sat back and I looked at him and I said, who are we to think that we could ever do that? I mean, out of all of these thousands of people, who are we, right? And he said, look at all this, this whole convention center, full of people. And he said, all we have to do is that much more than all of them. And it's so true, isn't it? It's just that much more. And it's funny because there's 80 people on this call, this morning. They're hungry. They want to make it happen. That's why they're here. And we're so proud to have everybody here. But gosh, it's just that much more. And I think if you all sat back in your chair and you thought, what do I need to do to get just that much more, right, Samson? Just that much more. You know what it is that you have to do. I mean, we all do. We just have to be willing to go for it and do it. And we're so thankful, Samson, because you do it every single day. Samson's never told me no, to go and do something in the business that is going to help and move us forward. He's always willing to help. So we're so grateful for you. I know other people want to talk, but thank you so much.
Thank you. It's my honor. And, we're all children of God. We got it. We got it. We got this. All of you got this. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, Samson, you're the best. We're so grateful for you. I love you. I just think you're the best, and your world of wisdom, and you keep it. I can't believe you're 66. You never told me that. You're still amazing and
56,
starting.
56.
Oh, 56. That seems better now. I'm glad I corrected that because I can't believe he's 66. He looks amazing. But you are an incredible mentor to all of us, and an example, you and Kim, and we're so grateful for your words of wisdom. My people love you, and we're all in. All of us are all in, and we're going to build this company to $1 billion. And it's exciting to be part of this. I know you had great success in your last company, and I remember Kim talking about as you moved near her in Orange County. So, well, I got to move across town to be near her. Excuse me, so I can be close to her and really work with her every day and learn. Wasn't that smart? Yeah, and look where you are. And then Kim told me later, yeah, Samson became so successful. Even when one of his founders, a lot of you were founders, and if you weren't a founder, you get to 4-star, you still got a chance to be a founder in the company. But there was points that Samson, his founder money, he'd go out and buy a new Mercedes. Is that right, Samson?
Porsche.
A Porsche. He bought a whole new Porsche with just for his founder's money for the month. All right. Is that exciting?
Yeah. Yeah. And when Christine, some of you have experienced it before and some of you have not. And part of that business, it can be very simple at the foundational level, right? Like peak interest, invite, connect, it's like peak interest, connect with people, invite, show the business, enroll them, and then promote the next event. It's very simple, but you got to just do it over and over and over and over again, right? And then, but when all that we say, all that we teach, it's from experience. So some of you will experience, hopefully have or on the way very soon, that light bulb going off every day. Oh my God, that's what Christine meant. Oh my God, that's what Tracy meant. Oh my God, that's what George meant. When that happens, and it comes with taking that action, when that happens, you can become like a machine in the business, and that starts to really create your consistency and success. And it's just going every day. And there's not much difference between making 5,000 and 10,000 a month into activity. And there's not much difference between 10 to 20,000 a month into activity, actually. And as you get bigger, you learn to manage a bigger organization also and lead a bigger organization. But it's actually the basic that's important. And Christine, you are somebody who is so consistent. And I mean, I'm so honored to work with you on this project. It's really, you're one of those people in the industry that people want to work with and look up to. And, you know, this is who you are, because what you do is literally, it's who you are. So you do what you do. It's not about what you do becoming and creating who you are, but it's who you are, Christine. That's such an amazing industry icon that you take incredible action to lead your team and inspire other people. So it's my honor, and you are one of the most consistent people I know ever.
Exciting, exciting.
Thank you very much. Very exciting this morning. By the way, this being streamed on YouTube, the recording already put on the right side. Although right now it's going live, but as soon as we hang up, it's going to be on. If you want to share with somebody else, we have some people. Hey, say hi to everybody that's in YouTube. Some people watching on YouTube. But anyway, yeah, it's amazing because the main secret is consistency. He repeat that word probably like 23 times this morning. And consistency, doing the right things, by the way. You can be consistent doing the wrong things or not doing anything too, by the way. That's consistency too. But which one are you going to choose? But again, it's amazing learning from you, a person that has earned not only the money you earn, but the amount of people that you have helped to also to get to that level. And what you say is very important. And look at what the leaders have done and they are doing and what they are teaching to, because everything to succeed is already out there that we need to succeed. There are hundreds of videos that you have in the Star channel. We have over, I think, 280 videos already in our channel. I mean, everything is there. We have already the knowledge. And you don't have to learn about the 280 videos, but when you go through them, you learn that there's a pattern, consistency, and all of them. They talk about consistency, doing consistent the right thing. But thank you very much. Anybody wants to ask something before we leave?
I was just going to say thank you so much. We have such an incredible team, and it's it's so exciting to be able to wake up to all of you every day, sharing and helping move the team forward. And motivation. Sometimes we lack personal motivation or self-motivation, and then you jump on a call like this and you hear from experts like Samson and Christine and George, and next thing you know, you're ready to go. And so take advantage of this feeling that you have right now that you can do it, and go get into action today. And that's really what Samson was saying. It's got to be actionable, right? And so that's just really exciting. And so thank you for everyone for sharing. All right.
Yes,
This is Adrian, by the way. Sorry, I don't know. I know sometimes George and I's things are
yeah.
So just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Samson.
sorry. Go ahead, Antonia.
I just wanted to say, wow. I'm just getting back from Vietnam, Samson. My life is forever changed. I'm at a whole nother level, y'all. Whole nother level. I mean, spending time with the leaders in Asia can just change your whole life. But what I said to everyone else, it not only changed my life, but it changed my daughter's life. And so Christine knows I'm forever grateful for this company, for what I experienced the last 2 weeks. But the consistency that I experienced in that group is, I thought Christine and I were crazy. Oh no. Oh no. But I have to tell you, Samson, you thought it was on before? Look out. Look out. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate Kim's leadership. You know, we are so blessed to have George, Adrian, Christine, you guys. You know, I heard from so many people that they did not have this for so long. And those of us on this call, we immediately had all of your leadership. And it means so much. So I just want to say thank you and look out.
And Antoinette, let me go ahead and follow up with that. So I love it, and you're gonna apply it the next few days because the core three double bonus is gonna end by Sunday. So those of you who want to challenge yourself to get up and do the productive activities, my suggestion, bring an attitude of going all out the next few days and try to get that core three double bonus the next few days. We still have time. But if you want to see the business work, go all out. No excuse for that. Just a few days. And then I'm sure there'll be something coming up after that, but push all the way that the bonus that you have as a team, push all the way to leadership, September 26, 27. Just go all out the next few weeks. Like, if you just want to see the business work, don't take 5 years, don't take 3 years, don't take 1 year, take 3 weeks. And we'll see you in Vegas. And then you can tell us face to face. I'll be there. And many of us will be there. Tell us, how did it work for you? Just do it. Do it one time, just for 3 weeks. All right. So God bless all of you.
Thank you. And we put the activity form for the next few weeks on the right side. You can download it. And we have it also on the Facebook group for those of you that can go there. But thank you very much. Really, we are so blessed that you were in our call. And thank you, Tracy, to make this possible too. Great. Thank you very much, everybody. Remember, tomorrow morning we have the technology morning, social media, and the app morning, by the way. But thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you next time. And remember tonight the opportunity call too at 7 o'clock Central. Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.